Hello again and welcome to Mordian Mondays episode 6. So for those of you who are new to Mordian Mondays, this is a series of videos which documents my progress on the Great Mordian Restoration Project, and I also talk about some general tactics and thoughts that I've had throughout the week as well, and what I'm doing sort of gameplay wise, any upcoming tournaments I'm going to, any sort of tactics I've got in mind for the tournaments. It's a bit of a free for all, free form, free zone, free idea zone. So, without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. So, last week I was able to get a full infantry squad completed. This is one of my assault infantry in air quotations, which is when I don't have a heavy weapon in the squad, and instead I focus on more close in range, close combat, up close and personal weapon options. So in this case, we've got a good old melter gun, and the sergeant has a power sword and las pistol. Now I have to say, this particular, even though this is the fourth infantry squad and fifth infantry 10-man infantry unit, so I've got a squad of 10 veterans done as well. But this might be the first, even though this is the fourth infantry squad I've done, this configuration is actually one that I'm going to be using a lot in my restored Mordian 50th rifles, because the traditional weapon of my Mordian 50th rifles is the melter gun. Because that stems back to all the way from when I first started doing Mordians properly. That stems back to sort of 5th edition. In 5th edition, I use a lot of 5th, 6th, 7th edition. I use a lot of melter guns because I had this tactic of the Mordian melter hedge, which was it was more prominent when you could blob squad. But what it meant was when an enemy unit charges you on Overwatch, they've got to take melter guns to the face, and typically you might only need one or two of those melter guns to make it to really blunt an enemy's charge. And it's still true, even more so in 8th edition, especially now that Mordians get Overwatch on a 5+, which is way better than what I used to do. Obviously, I used to only get a 6 of Overwatch. So now I get a 5+ Overwatch. The Mordian melter hedge is very potent, and what I like about this particular unit is it can rush up close to the enemy, and it can move every turn. Maybe I move. Maybe I just move in advance and then use forwards for the Emperor and still put out a bit of firepower. Maybe I just march forward 6 inches every turn, just laying down first rank fire, second rank fire. It's flexible but it's also very mobile. And then what I can do is I can either melt a gun and then charge in and use the power swords, because I'm going to have like 9 squads with this loadout eventually when everyone's redone. I'm going to have like 9 squads with this loadout, and I can melt a gun, which is obviously just it's a go big or go home weapon. It hits, it really messes something up. Even knights aren't so keen on charging 2 or 3 Mordian squads with melter guns. And then I can charge in and start wailing on the enemy with multiple power swords, with priests nearby. I mean, again, individually the squad isn't that threatening, but I'm going to be having, 3 spearheads of 30 guys, or one big line of 90 guys pushing forward. That's multiple melter guns being brought to bear. That's multiple power swords being being dipped into the enemy. So, I think it's not only is it a traditional unit for my army, it's also one that I think it's got some fits in again with the new old tactics I'm going for with my Mordians, because my Mordians were always very much they always did better in combat than they did in shooting, even though they shouldn't have done. I can't tell you the number of times in every edition that I've used Mordians proper, when I've let loose a full volley of las gun, heavy bolter, or heavy weapon rounds, special weapon rounds, and done way less than I should have done. And then I've gone, well, fuck it, right, let's get in amongst them. fixed bayonets and I've charged in and I've just hit well above my weight. Well above. My Mordians just seem to prefer to be up close and personal. So it's nice because this squad, it will encourage that. This squad is definitely going to encourage getting me close. Not going to want to waste that melter gun. So yeah, next squad that I've got in the works is another regular squad, a line infantry unit. This has got another missile launcher and grenade launcher. Sergeant's just got a las pistol chainsword. Nice basic squad. I've already started on them. I've started doing the green on them. Obviously green is one of the primary colours, so it takes a little while to do it. And then, even without... So what I'm very close to being able to run my first 500 point list. So I have currently got painted a squad of veterans with 3 plasma guns, plasma pistol and power sword. And then I have two assault units, one with flamer, one with melter gun and power sword. And I've got 2 line infantry units, one with grenade launcher, missile launcher, one with power sword, grenade launcher, las cannon. Then I've got a command squad with a heavy bolter and a flamer. And I've got one of my company commanders painted up. And I've got one of my junior officers painted up as well. So I'm actually, if I take those 4 infantry squads, veterans, then I take the command squad, I'm actually almost at 500 points. What I need to do I need to take my company commander and then a priest, a platoon commander and a Lord Commissar. And I've got a 500 point force, roughly. I think I'll have to add a couple of power weapons in here and there, but I can get that up to 500 points very easily. So actually, to get to 500 points, the only thing I have left to paint is my junior officer with power fist, my Lord Commissar with power fist and plasma pistol, and my priest. That's all I've got left if I want to do a 500 point list. It won't be the best 500 point list, but it will be a 500 point list. So that's pretty good. That's very positive. I'm just thinking, for my vow for the bolter and chainsword, I've still got this missile launcher squad to paint up, and I've got another assault infantry squad which just got a grenade launcher. I think it might be grenade launcher power sword, or maybe just grenade launcher, I'm not sure. So I'm almost at 500 points already, but my vow for the bolter and chainsword painting competition, I've still got 2 more infantry squads and 3 characters. But we're getting there. I can't believe I've already got like 50 guys painted up. That's 25% of the way there for my 2,000 point. Not 25%, it's 20% of the way there for my 2,000 point pure infantry army, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's it on the painting front. Plans. I'm doing the missile launcher, grenade launcher squad now. Then I'll probably do some characters, and then I'll probably finish off with the just grenade launcher squad. I'm painting these guys up as units because it helps me complete a unit in one go. I am more than willing to swap special weapons around if I need to. So, for example, to me it doesn't really make sense that one of my infantry squads has just got a grenade launcher, but then my command squad, which is designed to give a bit of fire support, has got a heavy bolter and then a flamer. So typically what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to swap the flamer from the command squad and put that in this third assault unit and put the grenade launcher from there into the command squads. Then the command squad's got a heavy bolter and grenade launcher, which is a good little fire support unit. Just it's manned by veterans, so it's like almost having, it's just an extra. The grenade launcher is an extra shot for the heavy bolter, essentially. And then the flamer can go on the 10-man assault unit, and that way, what I actually have pushing up the field, at about 500 points, is what I can have there is I can have, I can take 3 assault units, and then I can have 2 with flamer power sword and 1 with melter and power sword. And that's actually, put that with the priest, put that with the Lord Commissar, and a junior officer, and what you've got there is actually a nice little unit. Or with the company commander, nice little unit that can push up. You know, then I can have the junior officer babysit, you know, either the veterans or you know, maybe he can come in with the dagger of Tukasaka Ra, and then I can have, you know, a couple of infantry squads at the back just giving some fire support. And overall then, we know that if we take all that into account, I'm pushing 600, 750 points, and that's my next jump up. So, yeah, it's all looking very positive at the moment. Tell you what though, it's amazing. I'm here sitting on a 58-man army, and it's barely pushing 500 points. It's just pure infantry guard is so small. It's so cheap. Life is so cheap in the guard, and I've been playing, you know, Gene Stealer Cult for so long that I really don't appreciate how cheap guardsmen are now until I'm doing them again now. Yeah, it's mad. It's great. It's good, but it's mad. Thinking, you know, I've been a bit confusing there, but my 500 point list that I'm looking at the moment, just to be clear, I've basically got that painted up already, just a few characters, and then I've got 2 more infantry squads, and with those 2 more infantry squads, that will take me beyond 500 points, and then I can start thinking about 600, 750 point games. But yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. I'm looking to try and get my first 500 point battle in the next couple of weeks. That would be cool. That would be cool. A little 500 point, great Mordian Restoration Project battle. Not sure. Like I said, I'm painting in units, but the weapon options I'm going for might not necessarily be optimized, but whatever, it'll be fun to see the new Mordians in action. And Johnny has been making some boasts, because he's been sort of playing with his local meta recently, and I've been playing, which is a bit more casual than mine, and I've been going for a lot more tournament practice. But Johnny's Dark Elder have been tearing it up apparently. At 500 points, he says his Dark Elder are unbeaten. So maybe the Mordians need to come and bring him down a notch. Maybe my arrogance will be my downfall. That'll be interesting. So hopefully we'll get a 500 point Mordian versus Dark Elder battle report going. That would be very cool. See if Johnny's up for that soon. I mean, that's something you could put down. We might be able to do a few in a day, so that which would be cool. But maybe if you guys want to, feel free to put down in the comments what do you want to see the Mordian the 50th Mordians rifles take on as their first opponent in at 500 points. Do you want to see him take on Dark Elder, Blood Angels, Tau, or Deathwatch? What do you want to see? I personally think, you know, there's a bit of a... Obviously the Mordians have got a bit of a... My Mordians have got a bit of a history with the Tau. We always like to face a bit of Tau, but then Johnny is at heart a Blood Angels player, but his Dark Elder have been tearing it up. Maybe we need to show them his boss. So you guys tell me what you think. Put some comments down below. Well, you'll see them all. I might take them all on, but just tell me what you think would be cool for the Mordians to face first. I kind of like the idea of taking the Dark Elder just because there is that book, Iron Guard, which has the Mordians taking on some Dark Elder. It'd be kind of cool to recreate that. But speaking of tournaments, I mentioned it earlier that I've been gearing up for more tournament practice. I have another tournament coming up in July, which is this month, which is the Caledonian Revolution at Element Games. Element Games, you guys will probably know them. They sponsor loads of British YouTube channels. I think Winter's SEO is sponsored by Element Games, for example. Yeah, I'm going to one of their tournaments, basically. I was there last month, only last weekend, or just the weekend before, with the Warlords tournament, and now I'm going to the Caledonian Revolution. And I kind of have to decide. I've got a couple of weeks to decide what list I want to take. I kind of don't want to take my Genestealer Cult. I've played them to death. I've played Genestealer Cult competitively for for 6 months, with a few breaks in between. I have to decide: do I take my Armageddon Steel Legion, which would be very cool, but I don't think very competitive, or do I go really bonkers, and do I take my Black Templars? I'm not going there to win at all. I'm going there to, because it's a singles event, so I don't really care if I win or lose. It's not like a team event when I don't want to let the team down. But do I take my Black Tide? It's been a while since the Lazarus Crusade has been tearing it up on the competitive scene. Do I take the Black Tide? Do I take the Armageddon Steel Legion? Do I take my Mordians, but they're going to be very battered? They're very, very battered, my Mordians. But do I take my Guard? It's a toughie. It's a real toughie. I'm not sure which to take. That would be something cool. You guys could put down in the comments below. What do you think I should take? Do I take Steel Legion? Do I take my old Guard army? Leman Russ's infantry? Do I take Black Templars? I'm kind of leaning towards Black Templars, guys. I've got a really cool Black Tide list. Little adaptation to what I normally take. This is the list I'm kind of thinking of taking. I'm pretty much settled on Black Templars, but it'd be nice for you guys to let me know what you think. My Black Tide list, I take 3 battalions, and I take 2 choppy battalions and 1 Daka battalion, which is pretty standard for me. But the 2 choppy battalions are actually one big death ball, because typically what I do is I have 30 Marines in one battalion, 30 Marines in another chopper battalion, and 40 Daka Marines in the 3rd battalion. What I'm thinking is basically having the 2 choppy. What I've done is, what I normally take is I take choppy battalion with a chaplain, Empress Champion, choppy battalion with another chaplain and a lieutenant and then in my last detachment, I take 40 Marines, and I got a couple of captains in there. And basically, how it works is the lieutenant stays in range of, tries to stay in range of the shooty guys, and then all the choppy guys push forward. Basically, and the captains, one captain is like a smash captain. One captain supports the shooty battalion. The chaplain supports the choppy guys. How thing have changed, but what I do is I have like 2 spearheads of 30 choppy Marines, and then a fire base of 40 Marines. And how I'm thinking of mixing it up is having one big 60 Marine spearhead. Because what I want to do is I can do it where if I drop one of the captains down to a lieutenant, right? And then I drop one of the I've got 4 10-man shooty squads, and if I merge those into 3 12-man shooty squads, and I drop a bolter, plasma, heavy bolter, and combi grav sergeant, so I've dropped 4 marines and dropped 3 special guns. Then what I can do is I can still keep 3 battalions, but I have the 1 captain with a lieutenant with the shooty marine, with the shooty blob, and then I have all 60 marines, choppy marines, and surround like in a big death ball, and in the centre of that death ball, I've got High Marshal Helbrecht, who gives everyone +1 strength and rerolls everything, both shooting and close combat. And then I also put a lieutenant in there, so they've got reroll 1s to wound. And then I put the Emperor's Champion in there because he's a boss. And then I put Chaplain Grimaldus in there. Now Chaplain Grimaldus, he just give everyone reroll everything in close combat, so he overlaps a little bit with Helbrecht, but he has an ability where he basically gives everyone death to the False Emperor. If you get a 6 to hit, you get an extra hit. You get to roll again. You get an extra hit. You get an extra attack. So that's pretty good. So I'm thinking have that as a death ball. And so everyone's getting extra strength. Everyone's re-rolling everything. Everyone's getting more attacks on 6s. And then backing that moves up as just a sledgehammer. And then backing that up is, 36 marines with bolt guns, heavy bolters, combi plasmas, plasma guns. I think that would work quite well. Let me know what you guys think. My Steel Legion isn't, thanks to points drops, my Steel Legion isn't fully painted. I've got room for a bit more sugar. Got room now for a Hellhound and a Manticore, neither of which are fully painted, which is annoying. Or maybe I just take black. Maybe I don't know what to take. What do you guys think I should take to Cali? I've got 2 weeks to decide. Well, a week and a half to decide. There you go, guys. That's my thoughts. That's the progress on the painting. Not a huge amount of tactical updates. I've been using a lot of Genestealer Cult recently. I have an idea. I guess the only tactical update, I've obviously given you a bit of Black Templar tactics up there. The only tactical update on the cult front is I've been mulling over this idea of having a shooty list a lot more. I think I've narrowed down what I would take as a very shooting heavy Genestealer Cult army. I think I would take 3 battalions. I take 3 battalions. I love my 3 battalions. And I would take 2 Genestealer Cult battalions and an Imperial Guard Brood Brother battalion, which I'd get 3 command points for. So in total, I'd have 16 command points, because you don't get quite as many for having a Brood Brother one. But I'd be a lot less command point intensive. So what I'm thinking of having for the army, I've got to figure out exactly how this works. But what I'm thinking of having, bearing in mind I'm using what models I have available, but I still think this would be quite good. I'm thinking of having the Brood Brother detachment being 3 tank commanders with... I'm currently thinking about having battle cannons all the way, but I'm basically thinking 3 battle cannons, 3 las cannons, 3 sets of plasma sponsons, just a proper fire base, and then 30 Brood Brother infantry, just basic bitch infantry. If I've got some spare points, give them a grenade launcher and a heavy bolter or something, but they're just there to screen those tanks. And then I have a second fire base, which is a Hive Cult battalion, which I take 4 trucks and 2 Achilles Ridge Runners. Ridge Runners have manning lasers, heavy stubbers, flare launcher. 3 of the trucks, all the trucks have got twin autocannon and a heavy stubber, OVs. 3 of the trucks have got Dakar neophytes in, so 2 heavy stubbers, 2 grenade launchers, 6 auto guns. And one of them, I was trying to fit in like an extra Achilles Ridge Runner, but I couldn't quite do it. So I decided I'd give two mining lasers to the neophytes in that truck, and 2 grenade launchers, which is like having an extra Ridge Runner, but also gives me Dakar from the auto guns and the truck itself. And then the 3rd battalion, and then obviously there'll be a Jackal Alphas there, and a Patriarch with did I say Patriarch that I was going to go with? There's a Jackal Alphas there for sure. And then it's just a Jackal Alphas, and then it was a Acolyte Icon Ward, but he's actually not going to stay with them. And actually what I've got is that was it. It was a Jackal Alphas. It was a Patriarch with the Hive Lord, Warlord trait to give on reroll 1s. And then the 3rd battalion was an Acolyte Icon Ward and a Jackal Alphas again. And then it was like 40 neophytes. And then with like various upgrades. And so the final list is you've got 40 neophytes on foot, 40 neophytes in trucks, 30 Brood Brothers, and 3 tank commanders. And what you do is you form 2 fire bases, with one with the tank commanders and the Brood Brothers, one because they're all hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. One with the Ridge Runners and the trucks, because they're all hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, thanks to Jackal Alphas and the Hive Lord. And then you take, you got your 40 other neophytes, and you can either use them to screen some more, or you can drop them in on objectives. Yeah, loads of shit going on. So that's how I'm imagining it. But you've got 2 fire bases and then some extra guys. And you've got a lot of anti-tank capability there. You've got all the tank commanders. You've got you've got 2 mining lasers plus 2 heavy mining lasers plus 4 twin autocannons, which is basically 8 autocannons hitting on 3s minimum. Use chilling efficiency, get that up to 2s, rerolling 1s. Sounds very tasty to me. Sounds very tasty. But let me know what you guys think. Am I missing something? Am I missing a trick? Probably. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you want the 50th Mordian rifles to face. Let me know what you think I should take to this next tournament. And of course, let me know your own painting progress. I know some of you are painting along with the Great Mordian Restoration Project. How's it going? What have you been working on yourselves? Thank you for watching, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.